Hello, I am Karen Smith, and I am delighted that you want to learn more about woodworking with children. In addition to my main lesson teaching for kindergarten students, I am also Lotus and Ivy's woodworking complement teacher for 6-year-olds and students in grades 1 and 2. I am passionate about the positive impact that woodworking can have on early grade students, and I feel so very lucky that I get to spend time outside of my main lesson classes with children who are eager for the opportunity to use their hands to create wonderful handcrafted treasures that are useful to them. Throughout my years as a Waldorf teacher, I've included woodworking as part of my kindergarten curriculum. And the work the students do in my woodworking complements is very much like what my in-person kindergarten students created in my classes years ago. Especially in this immediate gratification time in which we live, the qualities of patience, focused concentration, and willpower, or grit, as they call it these days, are much harder to instill in children. These skills are developed with hands-on learning projects that take days or even weeks to complete. And they allow your child to practice and improve their technique through the correct and safe use of real hand tools. I want to share a quote by Maddie Bergstrom, a Swedish neurophysiologist who describes the vital importance of working with the hands. He says, "The density of the nerve endings in our fingertips is enormous. Their discrimination is almost as good as that of our eyes. And if we don't use our fingers in childhood and youth, we become finger blind. And this rich network of nerves will be impoverished, which represents a huge loss in the brain and thwarts an individual's overall development." That's a hefty statement, isn't it? Learning to skillfully use their hands not only develops a child's sense of self-reliance and self-confidence, but hand skills also awaken their creative powers. Additionally, this promotes a sense of reverence for craftsmanship, and it instills a respect for the makers of the world and all the things that they create. Woodworking teacher Peter Morehouse explains, woodworking is not just about what children make. It's about the changes within the child. Woodwork has a significant impact on a child's self-esteem and confidence, and it develops a sense of agency, that can-do mindset. Well, personal development is at the heart of woodwork, and I've seen this can-do mindset transformation in my students, and their parents have shared that woodworking has exceeded their expectations and positively impacted their child's academic learning as well. The foundational skills and techniques that the students learn builds from one project to the next in all of my complement classes. Their willpower and their fortitude to work through the repetitive steps of a process and the unexpected challenges that happens along the way increases over time. And by the end of the session, your child will be able to approach future woodworking projects of their own creation with confidence, enthusiasm, improved craftsmanship, and capability. Your child will have developed a maker mindset, and that can carry them through life. Now, you may ask yourself, how can you possibly teach woodwork successfully and safely through the computer? And I have to admit, I was worried about that before I first started teaching online in 2021. Not only have I been incredibly impressed with the quality of my students' projects, but they have shown great respect for the safe usage and the responsible care of their hand tools and their workspace. Now, your task as a parent is to cultivate a relaxed and confident balance between hovering too close with your protective concern and allowing your child the opportunity to step forth and practice and grow in their ability to use real tools safely. This gift of your trust and your belief in your child's ability will set them up for success to bravely approach bigger challenges that they will surely encounter in the future. So let me show you some of the fantastic photos that parents have taken of the children in my Woodworking 1-2 class and my kindergarten woodworking class. My complement classes rely on adults as my long-distance hands. So plan to be by your child's side at every woodworking class for assistance and safety reasons. We'll be using real hand tools, such as a pull saw, a rasp, and a brace drill. And all of our tools and supplies must be handled responsibly and with focused concentration and adult supervision. The cost of tools and supplies needed for my woodworking classes may be more expensive than the cost of the complement tuition itself. Still, the investment of real tools that your child can use for many years may become the foundation for a lifelong hobby or a trade. That said, I believe in working with what you have available as often as possible. So when you receive the supply list for my classes, I'm happy to discuss substitutions. And if you already have tools on hand at your home, please use what you already own. Saving money on supplies is something I always encourage. For class 1 and 2 students, woodworking will be offered each fall semester. And in the spring, I teach a hand sewing class for class 1-2 students at that same time slot. These classes are once a week for the entire semester. And in the spring semester, capable 6-year-old kindergarten students can enroll in my hand sewing session that meets twice a week for 9 weeks. And once that session is complete, we'll have kindergarten woodworking for twice a week for 9 weeks. Woodworking offers basic skills needed to make and repair, rather than consume and dispose of resources that could otherwise be transformed into useful items. Students emerge from my experiential classes with a feeling of accomplishment, self-confidence, and great pride in their ability to construct treasured playthings with their own 2 hands from simple materials. I love talking about woodworking with children. And I invite you to connect with me if you have additional questions about our program. I look forward to having your child in one of my complement classes in the future. Have a lovely day.